Yeah, guys, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, man. Tokyo Revengers is the definition of a series and a show that simply goes on for far too long. As I've said before, guys, I've only watched season 1 and the first episode of season 2, and I'm kind of already completely fatigued. There's something unique about shows and these forms of media entertainments that are based on time travel. And I'll be honest with you guys, in my personal opinion, I think these type of shows and movies have a very short shelf life, and they cannot at all overstay their welcome to maintain the high quality of the experience. The majority of time related shows and things that I've seen, usually the case is they're usually a one shot movie. It's one movie that you watch and enjoy, or it's a very short television series or manga. In this case, Tokyo Revengers unfortunately seems to go on and on and on. I'll be absolutely honest with you guys. In my personal opinion, Tokyo Revengers should have completely been wrapped up in 25 episodes. I don't know what has happened, but there used to be really cool shows that used to wrap up and be literally just a short mini series. It can be of very high quality, but overall it was a more of a short experience, really exciting stuff, and it ends up there. Immediately what comes to mind is the anime that I watched a couple of years ago that I really enjoyed, was called Future Diary, which I think does also have a bit of a time travel element, but it's a big bombastic supernatural show with a lot of crazy things happening, with life and death being hanging in the balance and different versions of each other. It's a mess, but it's an exciting and very entertaining mess, to say the least. But what I definitely have to give big credits to over on Future Diary there is that it was consistent. The pacing was very well executed, and it ended when it was supposed to end. That's a real issue that Tokyo Revengers is facing. Now, I've heard rumors, I've heard that perhaps they've continued the manga and the show will continue because of the great success of the anime, and that's perhaps why they chose to keep the story going. I honestly don't know what the reason is, but as I'm saying, all good things need to come to an end, no matter what it is. And this is the same case for a show such as Tokyo Revengers. This is the definition of them fumbling the bag, them trying to hold onto a cash cow for too long a period of time, and then that ultimately essentially messing up the entire experience as a whole. Takemichi has gone through a huge amount of difficulties just from what we've seen in the anime alone. Now, all I'm saying is, why is Takemichi now changing his objectives? Changing this. The original goal of Tokyo Revengers was to save Hina. The very missions that Takemichi and I guess Naruto is going along with and choosing to take seems to be very sketchy. Why does Takemichi even want to be head of a gang organization in the first place? I understand that he cares about these characters and everything, but what in the world are you doing, bro? Like, this was never the plan. The plan was for you to, possibly side quest was for you to improve your life in the future, and the second objective was to save the love of your life, Hina, and that got all messed up in this entire debacle to try and defeat Kisaki Teta and trying to save everyone, trying to save the members of Toman, bro. Why in the world does Takemichi have any sort of bond or care for any of these other characters other than Mikey or Draken? It really doesn't make any sense. It seems like they just keep, it's like you're baking something up, you're whipping something up, and you keep tossing in ingredients and hoping that that's going to make the pie taste a whole lot better. That's not always the case. Adding more ingredients to a recipe sometimes will mess up the entire thing, and I think that's part of the issues that Tokyo Revengers is facing right now. Now, guys, note, I am an anime only in this case. Once again, I have not read the manga, and honestly, I genuinely think I'm gonna stop watching the anime, and I don't think I'm going to continue with the manga. As I said before, time-based or shows that use time travel on a regular basis, these type of shows have a very short shelf life before they overstay their welcome and they become annoying, or they falter in terms of quality. Time travel can only be an aspect of a show or a movie that can be used at pivotal times and at very rare occasions. If it's used used on the regular, it can completely mess everything up. And in this case, Tokyo Revengers, I'll be honest with you guys, when I was beginning to watch Tokyo Revengers, it was definitely a show that was able to excite me and trigger my emotions to a very high degree. The only thing personally that I had an issue with Tokyo Revengers was that, I personally couldn't take the Tokyo Manji gang and the delinquents very seriously, because these are literally just a bunch of kids going into like crazy, like serious fights. I don't know, perhaps it's the age I'm in, because I just think to myself, can't you just report these guys to the police or something? Like, are you serious? Do you really have to go through all of this trouble? That was just a personal issue that I had with it. Now granted, I genuinely only found out today that this is actually a particular genre. There are a number of delinquents mangas that are out there, I guess, that are like gang related or whatever. I had absolutely no idea about that. Found out about that literally like a little bit ago. So I don't know, perhaps it's just for me. Perhaps I'm not interested in delinquents manga, because I just personally can't take them as seriously, because like, even if you consider the character designs of the adults, they don't exactly look, some of the characters definitely do look like adults, but the majority of the characters, particularly like Takemichi and the others, don't really look that much like adults. But those are just small gripes. It is what it is. That's not really important, as I mentioned out. But as I'm saying, Tokyo Revengers definitely needed to be cut short, and it needs to be cut short. These are the type of times where short stories and short little TV series that go on for a long period of time need to be embraced. As I said before, think your future diary. There are things and forms of media that, for example, don't need to go for multiple of seasons, and there are stories that need to be told that can't be told within the constraints of a 2 to 3 hour movie. Sometimes you need these type of shows to go on for a long period of time for it to be serialized and for you to get the best experience out of everything, and I think Tokyo Revengers should have gotten the same treatment. Unfortunately, all in all, I think Tokyo Revengers is on the downhill. There's no future for it, in my personal opinion. It's the definition of fatigue-inducing, and that's how I felt when I finished up the first episode of the second season, and that's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Well, guys, those were my unfortunate thoughts on Tokyo Revengers. It's unfortunate that I have to release such a negative video on this series that I actually really enjoyed in the beginning, and I really found it really interesting, and I found the relationship between Takemichi and Hina very, very interesting and enjoyable. Yeah, okay. Well, this is a side note. I personally had a real issue about the amount of times that Takemichi cries. That broski cries way too much. Now, note, I don't mind him not getting that much physically stronger, but I really would have appreciated him to become at least mentally more formidable, more mentally stable against these multiple issues that he goes against on a daily. But anyway, it is what it is. It just needs to be cut short. But guys, those are my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts down there in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I wildin'? Is Tokyo Revengers, am I not giving it enough credit than it deserves? Tell me your thoughts down there in the comments. And perhaps you guys can tell me if I should continue with it. Manga readers, you guys can tell me if I should continue with it. But yeah, man, I think it's simply just overstaying its welcome. Well, that's me, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy your day. Cheers.